All right, let's take a look at where we left off last time. You can see here we created a player class, and in our hello world, which is our application with our main method, again, just think of this as the class that will sort of kickstart or run our entire application from here. What we did inside of here is we created a player object with the name orc, and we put a bunch of these features inside of here, and then we printed all of this stuff out. So I'm just going to hit Control and F5 so we can see that in action again. And you can see down here we have the orc's name, and what that's doing is it's calling this method in here. Now there's a cleaner way of doing this, and it's using something that's extremely powerful, and it's called a constructor method. So what a constructor method does is it allows you to set all of these values for each object at runtime. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we can implement that. So the trick to doing this, or the short way of doing it in Visual Studio Code, and whatever compiler you're using, they generally have the same sort of feature, is you could just right click here and go to source action. And you can see down here, it says generate constructors. When this pop-up appears, go ahead and turn this on. And like I mentioned, done the same exact thing in NetBeans and other stuff. So I'm gonna hit OK. So what they did is it created a method with no return type. So what I mean by that is this return type is void, which means it's not going to do any calculations or return any value. What the constructor does is the second this object is created, it looks to call this constructor method. I'm actually going to hold Alt and press the up arrow and just move this whole constructor above my print statement here. Now, what's happening here is this. Inside of our parameters here, it created a bunch of variables. For example, name. And what we're doing is we're passing in name here. And we're making this dot name. So what does this refer to? It refers to the variable that's inside of this class, which is this guy right here. So it's saying name inside of here equals whatever is being passed in. So if we go to hello world here, and I just right click in here, or I'm sorry, if I highlight over, it's going to give me some quick options. If I hit quick fix, it says add arguments to match our player constructor. So if I click on this, you could see it says null and a bunch of values. So for example, if I type my character name here, which is exo orc, let's say all the orc's last names are orc. And currently we have a fresh character. He's got no stats, right? Maybe we want to give him some health. So remember our first value is health. So maybe I'll just say, you know what, the health is 100. Now what I can do is just delete all of this good stuff. And now all I have is my player object that's created. And as it's created, I'm going to call these stats. So let's see what happens. I'm going to hit Control S and then to save that. And I'm going to go back in. It looks like we have an error here. And it says the constructor blah, blah, blah is undefined. So I think I have to go back into player here and save this. There we go. Now that should fix that error. Now I'm going to hit Control and F5. And you can see that we actually get, in our terminal, we get the orc, exo orc, that's the name. His health is 100. He has a 0 speed and 0 strength. And it passed those parameters into our constructor here, and it applied them here. So these are now storing the values being pushed in. That's what this keyword is. And then we called our print stats method here. We called it by using the or keyword, which is a member of this player class. And as a member of the player class, and we do that by defining that here, we're able to have access to all of those methods. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at further building on this concept of classes and constructors and all that good stuff.